Well, welcome everyone to another exciting episode of the Voluntary Option. With me, your host, Pete Yapel. I try to sit here every Wednesday night, bring some sense to maybe some of the craziness that goes on in the world, point out some of the things that are pretty simple that could be easily changed if people would just wake up and we could just have people understand that in order for change to happen, we have to change. We cannot continue to beat ourselves over the head with the same bat and think we're going to have less of a headache. But listen, I don't really know what I'm going to talk about tonight, but I do have a few things I do want to touch on. I want to first say that within the next week or so here, we will have a special guest. Miss Kim Ruff, former presidential candidate for the Libertarian Party, is going to join me. We're going to speak about her attempted run for mine inspector here in the state of Arizona and how the duopoly does what the duopoly does, because when the duopoly gets afraid, they change the rules. And I'll be discussing that with Kim in the next week or so, which is a pretty hot topic of what's been going on lately a lot. If you think of all of the ballot access that we have to fight in order to just elect people that we know could do the job, we know these people could do the job, yet we have to get permission from those who already run the place in order for them to even run. And to me, that is the most ludicrous thing I ever heard. I mean, I believe in a society where if I want to vote for my neighbor to be president, let me put his name down, somebody read the dang thing, give him a vote. I don't care who he is or what he went out and did. I know what he plans on doing. And that's the problem that we have. If you really sit back and think for just a few moments. The Democrats in the country elected a president that has done everything he said he wouldn't do and has done more things on top of that to damage us already. And he's only been in office, what, a month and a few days? A month and a week, maybe? Month and 2 weeks? I don't care, whatever it is. It's been in there a month. Prices of gas are up already 40 cents. Aren't they? At least 40 cents. 50 cents here in our town. And you pay almost $4 a gallon in little old northern Arizona desert for a gallon of gasoline now, when you were paying two and change, and you know, struggling at $2.30, but saying, hey, it's better than it's been in 8 years. And that's not a dig on the Democrats and then up to the Republicans. That's not it at all. It's just talking about stupid policies and wars in which we're now engaging that we have zero business being involved in to begin with, and that are affecting the American people in an adverse way. I mean, it's simple. It happens every time. Every time, if you sit back and think about it. Think about change in the change in command each time. And especially when there's a change in party control. I probably had one of the best years I had financially, I would say, or rewarding in a rewarding way last year. I'm looking at this year going, Jesus, God Almighty, what am I going to do? You know, like, how am I going to supplement things? How am I? And I live off grid, mind you. I don't have an electric bill. I don't have a water bill. I don't have half the bills you people got. I got a cable TV bill in this thing. Well, not even cable TV. Whatever that stuff's called. Satellite for my phone, or for my Wi-Fi, satellite for my TV. That's it. That's all I pay. Well, cell phone. Damn cell phones too. I called today about my cell phone because Helen and I used to have a plan when we lived out in Ashbrook at the Garden of Freedom at Adam Kokesh's place. When we lived out there, we had a Verizon service was pretty decent out there. You could get, you could stream, but, you run out of, when it gets hard, you run out of service, things like this. But we used to have to use our hotspots a lot. And I forgot about it. I ain't lived out there in almost freaking, 7 months now? But I got my Wi-Fi bill lowered, $40 a phone, or $20 a phone today. Yeah, $20 a phone today. So $40, I took my bill down. And I can't believe the prices of these things still. I mean, honestly, I can't. It is common now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to have a cell phone isn't a luxury. It isn't something uncommon. Everybody and their mother has a cell phone, their daughter and their cousin and their grandmother. They all have them. Speaking of your mother, your cousin, your daughter, and your grandmother, and as it relates to our government, let's remember these lovely little infomercials that we get to listen to. And I don't even call them commercials anymore because they aren't commercials. Commercials used to be 15 seconds long that sold a product that was valuable to you, that the American public might find some use to it. Now we spend, I don't know, 45 seconds to a minute discussing things that will only make you more sick than when you started when you were sick from before to be start with. Here's the newest one. And we covered this last night at Can We Talk 420. Airs Tuesday nights, guys.
Jim's back.
Yeah, I see him. Let me bring him in. Hold on. I'm going to bring my producer in, guys, when my computer unfreezes. I see him back there. Tell him I do see him. I'll bring him on in just a few minutes.
What's going on? I could bring myself on.
It's thing. But I'm going to add Jim to the stream right now. And last night on Can We Talk 420 Radio, he took himself out of the stream. There you go. We're good. Or maybe I didn't add him to the stream. I don't know what the fuck I did. He's got control. He can do whatever he wants to do. That's what I love about having Jim there. He can do more than I can do on this damn thing. Anyway, on Can We Talk 420 Radio, Tuesday nights, 7 o'clock Eastern. Okay. We discussed and covered a part of a new contraceptive that is out there. Okay. And this new contraceptive is a stick of some kind that a woman, I'm assuming, inserts into her vagina and stops her from allowing her to become pregnant, or stopping the pregnancy, kind of like, the date after thing. But the side effects of this are a UTI, a smelly discharge, and pain in the vagina. You're not going to get pregnant anyway, man. If all of those things are wrong with you, you're not going to want to be pregnant, or you're going to attempt to get that way, and nobody's going to want to come near you anyway. So why are we taking things that make us so sick and give us all these adverse things? Why not just, study a few other things like either abstinence or use of condom, ways that aren't going to adversely affect you? You have to remember this, and this is one thing that I don't talk about a lot on my show because it's more political based, but everything you ingest, everything you put into yourself, everything, and especially medications, because they're designed to attach to receptors within your body that have no business being attached to. They have zero business being attached to these receptors, but they attach them to the receptors to try it. They put this drug on the market in France. Because why? Because they won't do it here in America first. Because why? Because we care for our people enough to kill a few million somewhere else before we start off on our own. So they send this drug on over to France, and in France, they start administering the drug. Now people were losing weight left and right and left, but the adverse effect was they were murdering their own family members in some cases. They became extremely violent after blocking the CB1 receptor, that they were murdering, injuring, and causing violence to lose weight, just to lose some weight. Why not eat less? Why not eat better? Why not exercise? Well, I can't exercise, Pete. I'm disabled. Pete is disabled, folks. I struggle every day to get up. I live off grid. Everything I do relies on me. My home does not run unless I do it and the sun powers it. So you can do it. I was on 131 prescription pills a day prescribed by doctors to keep me alive. And that was killing me every single day. Every single day I stepped closer to death. 23 hours a day I would sleep because I couldn't keep my eyes open. I didn't have the strength to. All because I listened to professionals that our government is telling you we have to listen to in order to be okay. It's the same thing that goes on with everything that comes out of Fauci and the freaking CDC's mouth. It isn't to make you better. If you want to make you better, make you better. Go out and find what's wrong with you and find something that grows outside your door that will make you better. Because let me tell you, you will find something. There are many things out there that are kept from us, and especially knowledge or the ability to study plants, because the government doesn't want us making ourselves better. They want us to be pharma junkies for the rest of our lives. They want us to be handcuffed and committed to their insurance systems. They want all of these things that we don't need. Insurance companies shouldn't be a governmental agency or run by the government or even involved in the government. Your health care should not whatsoever be given to you, provided to you by, or offered to you by your government. It's up to you, man. It's up to you to take care of you. It's up to you to make the change you wish to see in the world. And we say that every Tuesday night too. But we should say that here too. It's up to you to make the change you wish to see in the world. Look out there. There are a lot of things out there that libertarians should be getting involved in other than searching for county candidates. We have drug policies that we have reforms written out there that are pretty good. Initiatives that are out there that are really good, that need backing. And if the R's and D's aren't going to back it, let the L's back it. Let the people see who really cares about them. And let's be the party people choose first rather than being a third choice. You know, the old TVO banner hangs over there. And the old TVO banner says the first party, not a third choice. Because why? Because that's my true belief. I believe we have the wherewithal, the understanding, and the solutions to make positive change in a place that we want to call home, that we want to be proud of, that when the TV gets turned on and other countries are watching, they're going, wow, look at that place. And I can go there without any problem. I could be part of that. What's wrong with that? Here's the problem with all that. The problem with all that is we didn't stack people on top of people on top of people on top of people on top of people into the cities for years. They came here with a false promise of a false dream in which this country broadcast out there to tell people that we really were. And we weren't. All we were doing was enslaving more worker ants. That's all the government was doing. Bring in as many as you'd like and let them pile on here. I don't care if people come to our country. I don't. I wish more people would. I wish more good people would understand that there's a place where there's people that think like me that could make a difference. Could make a difference. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to make a difference, but believe me, I've got plenty of people I can get behind right now that wear an LP badge that could definitely make a difference in the way that our country is run. And again, one of them that's going to be on my show, like I said, going to be on my show in a couple of weeks, was Kim Ruff. Kim's a go-getter, man. She don't play. And she's such a go-getter. She got more votes in most conventions last year after even she withdrew from the presidential run. She was still beating other candidates. People were still writing her name in. But that's what America should be, is writing that name in that you want to take your voice and project it. Your voice needs to be projected, people. Read your rights. Read what these job positions are supposed to be. They are a representative of the people. And please tell me I'm wrong. And that the people really are insanely happy about the way this country is being run. And not just right now. Don't let me just shit on this old man. There have been old men before him I should have shit on. I got to ask the question the other day. Who's your favorite president during your lifetime? Yeah, I don't have one. I mean, I really don't. I didn't have much to pick from. I really didn't. Kennedy got assassinated a few months before I was born. You know, so I didn't have him to pick from. He had about what, maybe the closest thing to anybody that anybody thought was civil. But he wasn't. Believe me, man, he was just as shady and down dirty behind everything, especially even during the civil rights movement. He only caved on the civil rights movement because the civil rights movement was going to cave on him. I don't know.
Jim backstage?
Yeah, he's back there. Yeah, he's producing.
So he's got the promos ready. Sorry, he was late.
No, hey Jim, no big deal. Listen, we.
Oh, and Teespring, he can't pull up. It says the campaign is no longer available due to content issues.
I don't know. Whatever. My Teespring account's down. You know, I sell these horribly thick, mugs with my logos on them. I don't know what the hell I could have violated.
I gotta look at it.
Who the hell knows? What did I say? The government sucks. Maybe I put that on something. It's a good possibility I did because they do. I don't know. All I know is that here at the Voluntary Option, we Talk Portugal, we try to
probably my hiding from
try to bring try to bring an awakening, I guess, of some kind. I mean, I wish I could run around America. I wish everybody was just really sleeping, like they were just like Sleeping Beauty, and you just hire a bunch of ugly people to go kiss them and wake them up and turn them into freaking Americans again. Turn them into Americans again. But I don't think that can happen. So my only other choice in that is to just keep fighting, keep opening my mouth, keep pointing out the idiocy that I see going on, especially the idiocy when it comes to ballot access. And yeah, Dana Bland, a good friend of ours, an activist from the cannabis side, came up and said Missouri's trying to end primaries. And I think a lot of states, and Missouri is one of them, Dana. Listen, this is one you really should look into and get onto. Look at Dr. David Allen's page. Please look at the initiative he has about ending prohibition in some senses, or actually decriminalizing or scheduling and giving the right to the plant to the doctors so that we can open up and experiment on the plant more. I think that's great. But I think in your states, and states such as, there are 18 states that can amend their own constitution to their state, or write amendments to, and have it voted on, where you need a 2/3 vote in order to amend something into your state's constitution. And I really believe that a lot of states should start to concentrate on simple things like term limits. Let's get people to write some policy that only allows people in your state to hold office for a certain amount of time. And then after that, they can't run again. And I think that that's going to solve a lot of the problems that we have that fall down the line. Because once we get a politician in, people understand their names. And it happens with the kids, too. Because believe me, your parents vote for them. And then your parents voted for them. Your parents will always swear, they might bitch about them behind closed doors, but they'll always go, yeah, but then there's that other idiot, and forgetting that there's another idiot, even other than that other idiot. They only think there's ever two, so.
Idiots running packs.
Right. Idiots are like coyotes. Yeah. They just herd together and go, and wolves or whatever, and just go. But seriously, then we hear that name, and then that name becomes the name ingrained within us. And sometimes politics turns generational, where politics are turned down in state seats and House seats are passed down from generation to generation just by name recognition. A lot of people come to me every single, I shouldn't say a lot of people, but every single day somebody comes to me and asks me who I want in 24 for the LP. And I really can't answer that question right now. I mean, there's a lot of people I respect and a lot of people that I know would do what they say. But listen, Adam Kokesh, even his platform, if a lot of people don't understand it or don't get the gravity of it, the man would he would do the job. He would do exactly what he laid out. He's not going to be like these people that go, I'm going to promise you weed, and then when I get in office, you're not going to get weed. The government's going to get weed, and then we'll sell it to you again. It's such a horseshit system. It truly is. I just don't understand why it keeps working like that. But Adam, I could see running. Justin Amash, let's be realistic. If people sit back and go, the LP needs name recognition. Well, Justin Amash already has a name, okay? Is Justin Amash as libertarian as I want him to be? Absolutely not. He's not. Why? Because he's a fucking politician that used to be a Republican, people. He's a fucking politician that used to be a Republican, okay? Now, Are his views, some of his views libertarian, his stance is libertarian, his understanding of we don't want our kids over there fighting wars and things like that? Yes, he's got a couple of those things. He does, but he's not fucking libertarian. Not like me or not like fucking Adam or Freedom Jim. He's not fucking, he is in no way, shape, or form libertarian like we are. Okay, he's not. Is that a bad thing? No. He can be where the fuck he wants to be. And I'll jump up and down in his corner for him. But what I will say is that if he wants to run under our ticket, he has to run by our principle and platform. Period. And that's just it. I'm not going to say, let's pick Justin Amash because he's a big name that will actually finally maybe get us to 5%. Because, guys, we're not getting it. We're not getting it, are we? Did you watch this last election? Okay. And don't give me, well, maybe Spike should have read. Listen, Spike was on the campaign. Okay. He was on the campaign. You could have had Spike in the White House. It didn't make a freaking difference. Why? Because again, we are coming to the party so late. We come to this party so late. Every goddamn election cycle, we drag our friggin' feet. And by the time it's time to announce who our candidate is, there's 4 months till the election. People have been spending millions on TV commercials and people prancing around the country and this, that, and the other thing for 2 years prior to that, where they might have 4 good names out there. We can't get somebody to recognize one. We need to wake up as a party. We really need to wake up as a party. Start winning political events. Get it? We're politicians now, folks. You know, we don't like to maybe be classified that or put into the same lump, but guess what you are? You're a friggin' politician. Start winning races like them by acting like them. And I'm not saying dirty play. I'm not saying we have to be aggressive. I'm not saying any of that stuff. But you have to be relevant. That's what you have to be, is relevant. If you're not relevant, well, you know what? You know, you're always going to get the underdog vote. You're always going to get that. But is that what we're really in this for? Are we really in this just to, I don't even know why we're in it if we ain't in it to win it. Larry Sharp, brilliant libertarian. One of my favorite people. I love Larry. Larry, and I can sit down with him and talk to him for hours, man. I truly can. And I can sit back and listen to him for hours. I have a bunch of times. But why aren't we throwing Larry out there? I mean, listen, I watched this man go toe-to-toe with Cuomo. I watched him go toe-to-toe with one of the dirtiest, nastiest morons on the planet. Now, would Cuomo debate him? Hell no, he wouldn't debate him. You ain't going to try to debate Larry. None of these guys want to debate a libertarian. None of them. How often do you see a libertarian in a major race get invited to debate? I'm waiting. I'll wait long enough because there ain't no answer to that, guys. We don't get invited. We aren't relevant. We need to get relevant. We need people's faces and voices. And yeah, we got Spike on Fox, and I think we got somebody else too. Tim, I think, believe on there. I'm trying to think of Taylor. Tom Taylor, I believe, is on there too. Somebody else is on there, on with whatever the hell her name is. Can't even remember her name either, because I don't care about mass media. But I guess we have to. We have to get our names out there, guys. These people should be out there, and if not, we owe it us as independent journalists. Owe it to those candidates to be where these events are being handled, where these people are being talked about, or who is being present. Say you're in New York, you got Cuomo standing there. You need somebody in that crowd barking out a question with a reference to Larry Sharp in it. And you need this all over the United States. That's in every state. That is in every situation. Every time there's a White House press conference, there should be somebody there from the LP asking a poignant question or saying, you know, if let's just throw a name out. If Jacob Hornsberger was president, he would do this. What would Obama do? I mean, that's the kind of things we need. We need to get our name in the ring with them and understand that we have a point, that we have something to say, and that it's relevant. And then maybe we'll get somewhere. Then maybe we'll get somewhere. I'm tired of listen, dancing around the 1% is like dancing around the fact if you're going to get COVID or not, or die from it anyway. Okay? So if they can instill that fear into us, and then they're that afraid of that 1% chance of us, because they are afraid that people are going to listen to libertarians. I mean, that if you do not know that, you have never watched anything to do with a Republican or a Democrat in the way that they is a libertarian's name brought up. They don't know how to behave around us. They don't want to. They don't want people to hear what we say. Why? Because what we say is logical, it's principle based, and it's good for you. They don't want you to hear something that's good for you. They don't want you to know that at all. If it's good for you, they want it erased from your memory. I am farthest thing in the world from racist. I got a goddamn family. It's got more shades of colors in it than the rainbow itself. All right. But I was just happened to be out in the living room for her. My wife was watching one of her soap operas, Days of Our Lives. And I happened to look up at the screen. I said, holy shit, Helen, is that Jackie? The actress from, what the heck was the name of that?
She was on a lot of shit.
Yeah, she was on a lot of sitcoms. Funny African-American woman. She's on there. And it pissed me off because if the words were said in the other direction, the show would be off the air, people have been fired, and whatever else. But the simple point is Jackie's there. She's in visiting. She doesn't know. She has this grandchild or aunt. She's an aunt of this child that's born. And she comes to see it. She's a rich woman. And she comes to town. And this cop guy that's a relative of her somehow goes to introduce her to the grandmother on the other side. The grandmother on the other side, which is she's never met. And she's white. And the guy said, well, this is who the baby was named after. Before he even could get out that it was a grandmother, he says, I don't know, it's Buck. It looks like, I don't know, just open the door. I'm doing my podcast. I can't do nothing. So anyway, they're sitting there, and she says, why did they name the baby after this old white woman? Now, hey! Sorry guys, somebody showed up the banging the dogs. But if it was said the other way around, there would have been hell to pay. There would have been things that the network would have been canceled. The show would have been canceled. They would have taken everything off the line. Everybody would have looked like, oh my God, what is this horrible thing that they're saying? Well, it's horrible on the other side of it too. It truly is. I mean, I white privilege, call it whatever you want it. Listen, we shouldn't be calling people out by color. We shouldn't be calling them out by their sex or their orientation. None of that stuff. None of that stuff matters. None of it matters. See, this is what happens when you live off grid. People just go and grab honeycomb and they bring it on over to you. So now we got fresh honeycomb over here. My system's screwing up my system. But I think I'm still going. But this is the thing that it just makes me mad that we have to be politically correct about everything. And then again, everybody takes offense to whatever's being said. And it depends. There's so many goddamn variables, guys. Why can't we just be fucking human beings? I mean, if we did that and concentrated on that alone and eliminated all the other bullshit, we would have a freaking world that was a beautiful place. It'd be a beautiful place to live if the first thought out of your head when you looked at another human being had nothing to do with their sex, had nothing to do with their color, had nothing to do with their religion, had nothing to do with their sexual orientation, had nothing to do with any of that. And you just looked at him as a person. Wouldn't that be a great place to live?
think about
I
it.
talk to people all damn day long, all walks of life, rich people, poor people. You know, I mean, when you live out here like this, you humble fast.
Yes, you do.
You just humble fast because why? Because you aren't nothing compared to what's around you. You're nothing. You can't hold a candle to the 40-mile-an-hour wind that's blowing outside my door right now. Blow you right on your ass, 40 miles an hour. You know, especially my skinny one. Helen's over there laughing because she's almost seen it happen where my coat is caught in wind and I've been like a kite. But it's all about doing things the right way and doing things for the right reason. And I still get it. I don't get it. I don't get why everything has to be a problem and everything has to be a fight and somebody's got to get paid. And that's always the part that always bothers me the worst, is that just somebody's got to get paid. You know, why does somebody got to get paid? Why can't we just be nice people and do shit? You know, why can't nice people just do shit for us? I mean, it goes on out here. And it goes the other way too, believe me. There's bandits. There's bandits just like there's heroes. Unfortunate part about America lately is that we've been run into the ground by bandits. We've been being run by bandits that run us into the ground. And we need to make that change. We need to make simple changes that stops them. And one of the simplest changes, as I said, in 18 states alone, we can stop term limit. We can put term limits on people. And then people go, yeah, well, that's just the state level. The Fed, well, then listen, when the states start taking control like they should and doing what they're supposed to do and running their state and being a sovereign entity, then maybe we'll get some of it back. Maybe we'll get some of that taste back, where you can choose where you want to live because they live the way you live. Thus, the importance of localization. Localization is key to happy living in any part of the world, folks. It really, truly is. If you're living somewhere where nobody likes the same things you like, nobody believes the same things you believe, and nobody wants to do the same things that you do, you're going to be a miserable SOB. But maybe 30 miles away, there might be people that live like you want to live, act like you want to act, do the things you want to do, and you can go live there. Why? Because they can make up their own general rules for their community. And those rules can be accepted and respected. And you can enter a voluntary agreement to be a part of that. You know, that's what it's supposed to be about, isn't it? It's supposed to be a voluntary thing. It's not supposed to be, hey, I point my finger and you do. Because that's where you live right now. You live in a place that will take all your money that you earned and then say, well, you owe me some of it because you had the right to work. Give me some. And then they take some of that. And then, you know, you own a house or whatever else. Whatever, I don't care. You go buy a candy bar. You're paying a tax. Everything you do, you got to reward them for allowing you to do it. Everything you do. Everything you do in your life, you have to reward the government before you're allowed to do it. Try to put some addition on your house and don't pay for a permit. You own the house. You're going to put something on your house. Yet if you don't have the permission from your local entity, you ain't putting nothing on your house, or they can find you, take your shit away, do whatever. I never can wrap my head around that. I will not, as much as I would love to say I'm going to own this place, I'm never going to. As minimal as the taxes are here, I'm still going to have to pay them every year. If I don't pay them every year, what the hell am I going to do? What the hell is going to happen if I don't pay them? They're going to come take it from me and say it's theirs again.
Come on, Becky.
With no refund. It's bullshit. It truly is. If somebody could make me understand, and I want to hear roads being built, because please sell this argument in the book, and cows have been making roads for years. I got There's cows that have never lived here, a year old, that know that road. They follow the cow trail. You do the same damn thing if we needed roads. We'd follow a trail to where we needed to go. Please. They might have a bump in it, so what? Might have a rock. Yeah, it's going to have a rock. What about some mud? Yeah, we'll have mud. So what? It's a road. Drive careful. That's all I got to tell you. How many more roads do we really need in America? I think we've got roads that go everywhere, haven't we? Is there some unexplored place in America I haven't found out about yet, babe? Please let me know, because I know the government owns 50% of everything past the Mississippi. I'm glad I got a little chunk of that shit, but they own 50% of the land out here, man.
Yep.
To protect it. Not protect it, my ass. The last thing the government protected was their own pockets, or the last criminal that was supposed to go to jail for doing a crime within government. There's where your protection is. It got nothing to do with you or me. Ask Adela Wisdom. Ask her. She's going to run for office in Missouri, and they supposedly find cannabis on her property and arrest her and her husband, Aaron. She just went to court today. And you know what they found out? That they still even haven't tested the product that they confiscated, considering it cannabis, which could put it in a completely different classification, and they could be charged with crimes that aren't even valid or relevant. This is the judicial system in which we live under, that we arrest people for growing happy plants in their yard and then throw them in jail for 10 to 20 years. Yet the meth head will get 6 months freaking probation. The guy that molests your child will be back out on the street. No reason to hold him. We'll just find out where he lives. That's the solution to that. Hey, John Jones, child rapist. He lives at 643 South William Street. Well, who cares? What did you do to him? Now you just told me where he lived. You think I care? It's my responsibility now to keep my freaking kids away from this pervert.
Can't go kill him. That would be nice.
It's crazy. It's crazy, the thought process. Really crazy, the thought process in which our judicial system works. They're trying to. I don't know how they're ever going to do it. Devise a whatever breathalyzer for cannabis. But folks, if I don't take cannabis, you don't want me driving. That's when you don't want me driving. When I'm not fucking on cannabis. Why? Because I'm a neurological mess.
Yeah. So
know what you're talking about before you even know. I mean, again, back to that initiative. 18 states. Look it up. There are 18 states. I can start out with Arizona, Alabama, California,
Arkansas,
Colorado, Arkansas, not Alabama, Arkansas,
yeah, Arkansas,
Colorado.
Florida.
There's Ohio's in there, South and North Dakota, and South and North Dakota is the biggest
Oregon.
joke. Here, listen, and here's where the joke part of this comes in.
Montana.
Oregon's one of them. Montana's one of them. But South Dakota, they amended for cannabis, and the governor said, "Fuck you." I mean, you get that? 2/3 of the people in the state said they wanted something, and one idiot woman said, "No, I don't." You get that? That's your government. God damn, man. Why did we allow this? I mean, it makes me want to punch myself in the face. I mean, myself in the face, because I'm 56 years old. I've been living through this shit. I want to repeatedly break my non-aggressive principle by taking myself in a room and beating the hell out of myself. And so I can understand how I allowed me, my kids, and now my grandkids to be in the friggin' position that we're in. Because I could have stopped it. You can't say it couldn't have been me. Could have been any of us. Could have been every damn one of us up until today to do something to make a goddamn difference, and we just haven't. We just haven't. I talk about it in the cannabis activist field all the time. All the time. Why do you think you don't see me on there no more? Why? Because them people do nothing. I mean, they help out a lot of people in prison. Don't get me wrong. There's some great ladies out there and great gentlemen out there that make sure that those that are behind bars really do. But when it comes to fighting for friggin' legislation or running for office or doing anything to make a real change, no, they're waiting for Biden to do it. That's why they all voted for him, because Kamala got on there and lied. Kamala, whatever her damn name is. I don't even care anymore. But that's why She gets on there and goes, oh, I'm going to do something about cannabis. Have you people ever done 1 second's research on Kamala Harris and her goddamn record when it comes to any drug? She's thrown more people of her kind in jail for life than anybody else. She's stripped. she's stripped good people of their medical licenses because they recommended cannabis. And, yeah, that's who you got for vice president. That's really going to do something for cannabis. She's really out there fighting for you, ain't she? Joe's out there fighting for you too. Has he made a speech in front of a camera yet to the American people in a month and a half? Has he? Or is he waiting for his 100 days in office when COVID will be gone or non-existent anymore, like he promised, like he knew was going to happen anyway because it ran its course? Are we going to be apologizing for sending boys and girls and grown men and women to parts of this world that we have zero business in to take the chance to lose their life? And if they don't lose their life, possibly come back more screwed up mentally than they could have ever imagined their life being done. What's going on, Mr. Tim O'Connor? I'm sorry. I haven't been paying attention to comments much, guys, because I've been just babbling. But I think what I'm saying is important, and I think that it makes sense. And I really just think it just means we need to take some action. And I'm one of those guys that is always the guy calling for action. Do I come up with ideas and crazy, sometimes astronomical, ridiculous thoughts that are off the charts? Yes, I do. I sure do. You'll hear my ideas all the time. Are they always good ones? No. But the fact of the matter is that I have them and I'm ready to act on them. But you can't act on something alone as a person and expect to get any results whatsoever. It's absolutely ridiculous. But what people forget is that we have the ability to make our own decisions and thoughts. Like the government believes they make better ones for us. Like the government wants you to believe that, hey, I get it. You got a brain, but don't use it. And why is my dog? What's going on over there? My camera's jumping all over the place. I think I got dogs knocking into it. And I did. The dogs knocked that thing way out of whack. But anyway, we do have brains. You see, even me, smoking pot, they say you're stupid. Bullshit, I am. I'll tell you that right now. I'm far from fucking stupid. I'm a lot of things in this freaking world. Do I make dumb decisions? Sometimes, of course, but I'm a fucking human being. But I'm not fucking stupid. And it definitely wouldn't have anything to do with cannabis if I was. But the stupid part about it is that's what they try to sell you. Still to the American people, still the reefer madness bullshit, still all of that. If it wasn't for this plant, I wouldn't be here talking to you today. And that's the God's honest truth. In 2016, they were ready to throw me in the Mayo Clinic in Sloan Kettering, start yanking muscle biopsies off me because they couldn't understand why I was so sick. Why everything they were giving and doing to me wasn't helping, and I was only getting worse. Well, I'll tell you why. The reason why is they were giving me everything I shouldn't have been getting. And they kept everything from me that I shouldn't. And I'm not even talking about weed. I take oils, and, everybody's going, oh, CBD oil. Yeah, I take CBD oil too, but that's not the oil. I take full extract cannabis oil. I take oil from the complete extraction of the entire plant. Why? Because I need that. I need every cannabinoid, including THC, and I need THC in high amounts. It's not something to be afraid of. People don't just sit on the couch and eat Doritos and act stupid. People plan walks across the United States of America. That's what they do. People find ways to challenge their government. People take active part in political parties and join in and say, no, we need to make a difference. That's what your average activist is doing. That's what your average pot smoker is doing. Listen, I know people that are so smart, so freaking smart, And nobody would even know they smoke weed if I didn't know they did. Right? I mean, doesn't that happen all the time? Or you find out, Jesus Christ, that guy working over there, he's the thing, but he does lines every weekend. What you pack in your face ain't going to make a damn difference if you've got some kind of intellect, if you're a bit learned, if you take 5 minutes to read. It's something we've all forgotten how to do, unless we're reading a meme. We didn't have all of this, man, when I was young. We had to go get it. We didn't have it handed to us. And look at where we got. You know, we're definitely not in a place that we can't be saved. We you know, until you're underwater and you can't get back up to stick your finger out for somebody to see it, you still got a fighting chance. We've got a fighting chance to make this place a better place again. We really do. We have a fighting chance to correct some of the wrongs. Now, will there be embarrassment maybe, you know, around the world? If that's what we're worried about, are we really as a country sitting back and worried that we're going to be embarrassed in front of other countries? Why should we care? Mind your own business. Take care of yourself. Respect yourself, your things. Mind your own business. Take care of yourself. Respect yourself and your things. It's a pretty simple life. Because if you do those things, then what issues could you possibly have? How could you not come to common ground, or how could you? Because if you understand that you respect you and your things, and somebody else respects theirs and theirs, then let them have them. Quit looking over their fence, man. Quit looking over their fence. And what does it matter to you what your neighbor's doing? Is your life that grand or bored? You're that bored? You're that bored that you got to worry about what's going on in the next guy's backyard, or how you can make the next guy look bad. I spend my life lifting people up. I don't know about the rest of you, but I do. And anybody that knows me knows that when I walk into a room, I am not going to be that guy that's going to make you feel like shit. I'm not. I don't have that in me. Unless, of course, you know, you deserve it. But I don't think I give people the opportunity or chance or reason. And I think if we all took that time to just be nicer people and do things on a regular basis, rather than acts being random and kind, just be kind and do good things. So much is lost in that. People go, oh, you know, what are we trying? You trying to do? Want to live in a kumbaya world or whatever? Yeah, I do, man. Don't you? Aren't you tired of all the arguing and fighting and nastiness and miserableness that's around all the time, and tension, and who's flying what flag and what statue standing and who's saying this about that and what this, that? Come on, man. Quiet it down. Let's quiet the world down. Get on a CBD regimen, every single one of you. You all need it. Everybody's cannabinoid deficient. It's not a cut down. It's done to you on purpose. It's done to you on purpose. And why don't they want you to have THC? Because THC stimulates the data mind. The data mind is your bliss. This is what makes you happy. And if they keep clogging your molecules with medicine after medicine after medicine that blocks that happy receptor, how are you ever going to live a content life? I don't want my last thoughts to be, I wish I had. I've been there. But I don't want my last thoughts now to be, I wish I had done this. Or I wish I had said this. Regret is a hard motherfucker. I mean, when you're dead, you don't know. I guess you don't know when you're dead. But still, I don't want my last things to be that. I don't want at the end of my life either to be sitting back and going, look at what I did. You know, that's not what I'm saying either. I just want that to be the peace. Where I haven't harmed anybody too much, caused too much damage or hurt to this planet. And I did good stuff. And people knew that. And I could go to bed every night knowing I did. It's not a hard philosophy to get behind. And government can be ran the same way as what people don't understand. It can be. You know, we involve ourselves too much all the time. Well, you got to worry about your enemies. No, you don't have to. They're not coming here. They're not coming here, guys. It's kind of hard to get to America. You know, it's really kind of hard to bomb us. It's kind of hard to do anything to us. Impossible? No, but it's hard as hell. And when you have a military that is, you know, that the rest of the world owns compared to yours, why don't you just protect your borders from nothing that's obviously no threat to begin with, but just bring all them kids home? I don't need the poppy fields in Afghanistan. I don't need them. You don't need them either. And if we had less of them, we'd have less issue. Grow the marijuana fields here. We don't need their oil. Come on, do you realize we only get 5% of our oil from over there? 5%, and that drives the price. Their lousy 5% drives the price for the rest of it that we collect our own right here from our own soil. I mean, why do you think Alaska was so important to us? It wasn't only strategic, it was freaking a gold mine. It was an absolute gold mine. In more ways than one. But you know, when we get to the point where we're stealing, literally, what reward is there in that? What you tell me how your government can wake up every morning and smile and say that they did really something good for you today. Now everybody's gonna go, oh, well, they just signed that $1.9 trillion, whatever. I don't want them signing any more trillions of dollars to put my grandkids in further debt. Open the business down the road so somebody can work at it and they won't need free money. Allow people to live. Allow us to thrive and allow us to be free within our borders as we're supposed to be. Not sit back and go, if you ain't got a special card that says you got a shot stuck in your fucking ass, you can't come here, do this or do that. Or, hey, if you got a shot stuck in your ass, you can hang around with other people with shots stuck in their ass. I don't want to hang around with people with shots stuck in their ass. I just want to hang around with people. God almighty, that was almost like an episode of Pissed Off Pete I used to have on my TV show in New York right there, folks. I'm sorry, but they get me so fucking mad with this lunacy and ignorance. Did the Senate gather in tens? When the Senate met, did only 10 people go in the room at a time? No, they had them all there. Special people. Special people. Special people with special rules that keep sticking their thumb down on your head and smearing it down into the ground. Keep putting their foot on top of your throat or their knee on top of your throat. It's not, listen, the American government does to every citizen in America what that cop did to George Floyd. Every single day, they just kneel on your throat and they hope that you run out of oxygen. The weak, because why? Because the weak can't produce. And when the weak don't produce, they don't give you anything. And if you're not giving you anything, what good are they to you? And if you don't think your government thinks that way, you don't know your government. You know what? I knew a senator. I was pretty close with a Republican senator in New York, just because my family was very close with him. I mean, not because I, sought him out or anything else. I mean, did a lot for our family when my uncle was in Vietnam, and my uncle had been shot, and Bill Larkin did everything he could do, and he found him, and everything was fine. My uncle came home. My uncle was subsequently passed from pancreatic cancer, who happened to be my godfather, and I love him dearly. But people will say all the time, like I can say all the time, I can sit back and go, Bill Larkin was one of the nicest freaking guys I probably ever met in my life. One of the nicest dudes I probably ever met. Older gentleman, to me, my father's age. But kind of like Bill's policy, he didn't have the people in mind. That's when people go, oh, I know that guy. He's a good guy. He's a good guy, but he's screwing you in the office. His job ain't the guy. You ever been to work with somebody's been a real dick manager, but then they get off work and they're the biggest party, fucking fun person you ever met in your damn life? It's the same damn thing with politicians. That's their job. They're doing a job when they're there. That's the way they view it. That's the way they see it. That's the way they want it. They're doing their job. But they're not really doing their job because their job's supposed to be what you're supposed to be telling them to do. Your best interests. They're supposed to be carrying out and trying to enforce and get things happen. That's what they're supposed to do. That's what they're supposed to do. Do they do that? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's whoever has interest that's sitting in front of them with their checkbook open. That's how decisions are made. That's why decisions are made. And it's how decisions will continue to be made until we make some change. And again, change lies within our party. Our third party has been sitting around waiting. It's been like, been waiting in the weeds. Like we're the new kid in school. And we've been around since the 70s, dude. It ain't new no more. Right? We're the new kid in school, right? And now people are starting to wave to us and letting us play with them a little bit on the playground. But the principal's getting a load of it and going, my God, that kid there, look at him. He's special. He could really round up a whole bunch of these kids and take over this whole damn school. Do I really want that to happen? Analogies are my life. They truly are. When I think of anything, I think of, my God, what is that? How stupid is that? And how stupid can I compare that to something? But that's what it is. I got 2 minutes left to the show. Please, guys, behind me, you've seen the billboard the whole time we've been up there. Can We Talk 420? If you get the time, go to the website, www.canowetalk420. And that's a small O, not 420. We aren't trying to be redundant. And Helen does a great job with this. She updates it constantly. There are tabs on this thing, and pretty much every tab on this whole website that you push on will directly link you to our phone number or a way to get in touch with us most of the time. We've got our online dispensary there where Mother Nature's Den products are being carried now. And Mother Nature's Den is our line. That is our line of CBDs. And we like to keep it simple, stupid. Why? Because simplicity is truly all that we need when it comes to this plant. Also, Jim was telling me that my Teespring account is having an issue right now. I'll try to fix that and get that back up. I have no idea. They said I violated something. I don't know. Like I said, maybe I said the government sucks.
No, what it was, I'm going to tell you, is my hiding from Biden onesies for my grandkids.
You hear that shit? So my wife went and made beautiful hiding from Biden onesies. And when she made the hiding from Biden onesies, I guess that Teespring kind of got a phone call from the White House and everybody was told that Biden can't be called a piece of shit. Joe, you suck. How about that? From me, man. And I'm hiding my motherfucking kids from you. So just that's it. That's probably why that got taken off. And then finally, there's our Patreon account at patreon.com/CWT420TVO. And if you go to that Patreon account, there are, I think, 4 different levels. We're setting up a really cool thing. And if you're on our, yeah, Jim's got it pulled up for us, right? Pulled up for you right now. We're going to be starting a chat. I got the idea from Adam Kokesh. He has a producer's chat. And I kind of like it because I'm in his producer's chat, and to be honest with you. And I go in his producer's chat, and I'm able to add input. I can send links. I can be part of the show, and I can talk about have some of the things I want talked about on them. And I'm going to kind of offer that up for everybody too. I'm going to set up my own type of producers club within. That's one of the levels that's on there. And guys, listen, we do this because this is what's supposed to be done. We do this because we like to speak the truth. We do this because we like to educate people, and we want to let them know that there are other choices out there other than just red and blue. Because remember, red and blue together is purple, man. It's like a bruise. But remember this too. When a bruise heals, it turns yellow. So let's be on the healing part of this country. Let's join a party that matters. The LP.org. That's been at your bottom of your screen. Join it nationally or join in your state. Well, until next week, everybody, I'm Pete Yapel, the host of the Voluntary Option. Thank you again for Free Speech Media for letting me put my show out here on Trovo and such. And guys, live the freedom in which you choose to live, because it's your life to live, man. Peace.